In this lesson, we are going to look at Pythagoras' theorem, and we are going to explore Pythagoras and find its longest side. So what is Pythagoras' theorem? So according to Pythagoras, he said that for any right-angled triangle, the sum of the areas of the two small squares is equal to the area of the larger one. So what that essentially means is the length of area A, and we square that, and the length of area B, and we square that also, we add them together, that will give you the length of area C squared. Essentially, according to Pythagoras' theorem, that is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now, another thing that we need to note down is how to find the longest length. Okay, so how we do that is we find out where the right angle is, and then we identify that, and opposite it we give you the hypotenuse or its longest side. Alright, thank you. So what I would like you to do now is identify and circle the correct length for the longest side. We need to find the hypotenuse, so we need to remember it's opposite the right angle. For this example, we're going to find out how to find the missing length of this right angle triangle. The first thing that we need to do is find the hypotenuse. So opposite our right angle is our hypotenuse, the longest side, and we're going to label that C. Alright, so now to work it out, we need to use the Pythagoras' theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, so all I'm going to do essentially is rearrange the top formula to make it easier for us. So C equals square root A squared plus B squared. Okay, now A and the length of A and B, it doesn't matter which way you do them because they're both short sides, so we can just substitute those numbers back into the formula, which therefore give me C equals square root 8 squared plus 6 squared. Now find out what they are. C equals square root of 8 times 8 gives you 64, and 6 squared gives me 36. Now we add them up and right over here. C equals square root of 100. Now then we find what the square root of 100 is. That gives me C equals 10. 10, we need to remember our units, centimeters. Yeah, so for our longest side for this example is 10 centimeters. So now we're going to look at the second example. It's the same thing again. We need to find out what the missing length is. We're going to use the formula from the previous slide. So that would have been C equals square root A squared plus B squared. Okay, now first thing we need to do is find out which one is my hypotenuse. We identify the right angle. Opposite that is my right angle. I'm going to label it C, and now my other two lengths are therefore my short sides. It doesn't matter which way you put it, but in this case I'm going to label 35 millimeters as A and 12 millimeters as B. We substitute those two numbers now back into the formula, so therefore our rearranged formula, so C equals 35 squared plus 12 squared, and we square root all of this. Yeah, and now what does that give me? C equals 35 squared gives me 1225 plus 12 squared gives me 144. We add them together, that gives me a total of 1369. We square root that. Obviously I don't expect you to do this in your head, so you can use a calculator. So C therefore is 37, remember my units, millimeters. So therefore the longest side for this example is 37 millimeters. Alright, so what I would like you to do now, in each of these right angle triangles, find the missing longest side, and after you have completed this, any work that you've completed, please upload to class charts and it will be checked. Okay.